Welcome to Your Detroit Now. Ready?
Ready.
Let's get started.
First episode, we're going to go through the Detroit Lions schedule, just predict the wins and losses, and nothing much. So let's get into it. You ready?
Let's get into it. Lions have a very tough schedule ahead of them. Fourth hardest in the league. My overall prediction and consensus is I predict the Lions will not do as good as they did last year, but I do feel they will have a great season ahead of them.
You're just going to have to wait for my predictions.
Here we go. Week 1 at Green Bay. What's nice about this one, Musa, is we're playing Green Bay in September. So the weather's not going to be too bad, not going to be too much snow at all. Hopefully no snow in September. Weather should be nice, so I'm thankful we're able to get that divisional game early in the season, get to play in some warm weather. We all know the rumors about Jared Goff. Warm weather quarterback, indoor quarterback, can't play in the snow.
Grew up in Cal, of course he's warm weather. He's a warm weather quarterback.
Absolutely. So week 1, I'm going to say Lions are going to take the win in Lambeau Field. Musa?
Like you said, I think it's a huge advantage where you play usually a cold place in September. I think it's going to be a huge advantage for us. So I will think the Lions will get this win.
So we both have the Lions starting out 1-0. Week 2, we come home for the Bears. This is Ben Johnson's return back to Detroit. First time back in Detroit since he left. Very exciting. Moose, let's get your take on the game.
Well, I think Ben Johnson's gonna have something planned for us. It's something that we won't know. I think he's gonna prepare Caleb Williams for this game. They lost a couple of starters, and they improved that offensive line. I am going to take the Lions here.
I'm also going to take the Lions here. Like I said, Ben Johnson's returned back to Detroit. Let's see if Dan Campbell and the new offense and defensive coordinators can keep Caleb Williams and the Bears contained. Week 3, Lions are going to Baltimore, playing the Ravens. Away, you got guys like Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers.
Derrick Henry,
how could we forget? I think this is going to be a tough game for the Lions. Lions have not played well against the Ravens in the years past. They've had our number. For that reason, I'm going to have to say I'm going to take the Ravens. I have the Lions going 2-1 by week 3.
Well, the thing about like you said, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, and they improved that secondary a lot.
How so?
They improved Jair Alexander from the Green Bay. They have Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, very good secondary. I agree with you. I'm going to take the Ravens on this one.
So we both have the Ravens taking the win there. Lions will be 2-1 by week 3 is our prediction. Week 4, Lions are coming back home to play the Browns in Detroit, 1 o'clock game on Fox. You got Shedeur Sanders in that quarterback room. You got Joe Flacco in that quarterback room.
And a confusing quarterback room where you don't know who's going to start.
Moose, tell us the quarterback situation in Cleveland right now.
Well, they signed a couple guys. Joe Flacco is back. Kenny Pickett, Tyler Huntley, and Deshaun Watson is still there. And they signed 2 rookies in the draft. Drafted 2 rookies in the draft. Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And they kept Myles Garrett for a 4-year, what was it, $140 million?
Something like that.
Something like that. At the time, was the highest non-paid quarterback in NFL history. Then Jamar Chase broke that record, and then TJ Watt broke that record. I'm going to take the Lions on this one.
I'm also going to take the Lions on that one. I'm very interested, though, to see what Cleveland has to do with that quarterback situation. We all just saw that preseason game. Shedeur Sanders played absolutely amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely amazing. So it'll be very interesting to see who the Cleveland Browns start week 1 and who they start week 4 when they play the Lions in Detroit. I have the Lions taking the win there as well. At this point in week 4, the Lions will be 3-1. Now the Lions fly into Cincinnati. They'll play Joe Burrow. They'll play Jamar Chase. This is a great team, Musa.
Great team.
Great team. I think this is going to be a tough game for the Lions to play. Moose, why don't you give us your breakdown?
Well, here's the thing about the Bengals. They wasted all their entire money on the offense just to keep Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and T. Higgins. And on the other side, you have the defense, which is confused during and on and off the field. I don't think they know what to do. And you have Trey Hendrickson, which I think against like mediocre or bad O-line, I think he can like do really good. But when it comes to like good teams and they have a really good O-line, I don't think he can do pretty much anything. And their defense is not good at all. I'm going to take the Lions on this one here.
Musa, I think we're going to have to disagree here. This is where I'm going to take the Bengals.
Really?
Bengals are going to take the lead here. I think the Lions are going to be coming off a big win from Cleveland, but I don't think we will have enough momentum to carry us into the Bengals win there. So at this point of the season, the Lions will be 3-2 for me.
4-1 for me.
3-2 and 4-1. Next, while we're on the road in Cincinnati, we go play the Chiefs Sunday Night Football in Arrowhead. Moose, give us the breakdown.
I don't have to say anything. They're led by their head coach, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy, one of the fastest men in the NFL. And you have the defense, Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie, George Karloff. There's a lot of great players. But the last time we versed the Chiefs in Arrowhead, we beat them by 1 point.
21-1. That's really what kicked off this kind of run that we're on right now. This was when Jared Goff, this was when Patrick Mahomes won his first Super Bowl on their three-peat, right?
Three-peat.
This was when Patrick Mahomes won his first Super Bowl on their three-peat, or what they were attempting to be the three-peat. Lions really kind of went into Arrowhead and really kind of played aggressive football, played tough football, really showed the gritty football Dan Campbell came in and said he was going to play. I do think it would be awesome if the Lions got this win, but I think Sunday Night Football, October 12th, the Lions are going to take an L here. I think the Lions will be 3-3 going into Week 6.
Well, if we beat them once, I feel like we could beat them again. I'm going to take the Lions here.
Musa's taking the Lions, so we have 5-1 and 3-3. Next, Monday Night Football. Lions are playing back-to-back primetime games, a little bit longer of a week than usual with the additional Monday, with going from Sunday to Monday. Lions are playing the Bucks at home. We played the Bucks 2 years ago in the playoffs, beat them in the NFC divisional round.
And then last year, we lost that game, but Aiden Hutchinson had a phenomenal game. Almost broke the all-time sack leader for one game for the Lions.
Did he really?
Yeah, 4.5. The record was 5.
So I think Aiden Hutchinson might have a little bit of a revenge game. We all saw what happened last year in Dallas. But he was obviously on track to be Defensive Player of the Year.
Obviously.
And I think Aiden Hutchinson's going to come in with a lot of momentum this game. I am going to take the Lions on this one. Baker Mayfield, a lot of respect for him. Big Baker Mayfield fan, both Musa and I. But I'm going to take the Lions here. I have the Lions going 4-3 by Week 7 in the season.
I agree with you. I'll take the Lions here. I have the Lions going 6-1.
6-1. Both have a Lions win. Both have a Lions win. Next, divisional game against the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, Kevin O'Connell, Justin Jefferson. This is going to be a tough game. T.J. Hawkinson. It's going to be a tough game.
The former Lion.
It's going to be a tough game. In Detroit, though.
Well, J.J. McCarthy, here's the thing. He could either be really bad, really good. He could potentially win Comeback Player of the Year if he does phenomenal. Kevin O'Connell is going to cook something up. Absolutely. He always does against us. And you have someone, Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in our era. But here, their secondary did not. They were very bad last season. They didn't do anything. They couldn't follow one simple rule. It was just very bad. I have the Lions. I have the Lions winning here. The Lions will be 7-1, 6-1.
7-1.
7-1.
So let's spend a little bit of time on this game. Last time the Lions played the Vikings, Week 18, historic game. First time two divisional opponents were playing against each other for the number 1 seed. Never happened before. May never happen again. The last time this happened, the Lions were the champions of that game. The other thing, that game broke the record for the Lions winning. That game broke the record for the Lions beating the Vikings 4 times in a row. This is going to be game 5 for them. They've never broken 4 games in a row beating the Vikings. Can they get 5? I think they can. Musa thinks they can. So by week 9 against the Vikings, I have the Lions going 5-3.
I have the Lions going 7-1.
Week 8, bye week. It's an early bye week, not quite as early as we had last year. So slightly better to get an additional 3 weeks, 3 more games before the bye. Very exciting. I do wish we had a little bit later of a bye week. I think last year's injuries, not that they could have been prevented, but I think we could have been in a better spot had we had a later bye.
I 100% agree. I have a prediction.
Go ahead.
I have a prediction right here. I think the Lions will make a trade. You know the Steelers' defense. They have a really, really great secondary, but you don't need that many corners, right?
At this point, they're projected to be a top 5 defense.
Yeah. But I think the Lions will make a trade, give away like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, maybe in a 1st-round pick, just to bring back big play Darius Slay.
Darius Slay's coming back to Detroit during the bye week.
During the bye week.
A week ahead of the trade deadline, possibly at the trade deadline.
Yes.
Moosa's predicting by the trade deadline, the Lions will have Darius Slay back in the secondary. Darius Slay's a big advantage to have.
He's getting old, but he's still really great.
We lost him in the Patricia era, but it'll be great to have him back if we do. I hope you're right.
Yeah. Can I say this one?
Please.
Week 10, we travel to Washington, D.C. to take on the Commanders, Fox 425. Jaden Daniels absolutely kicked our butts last year, won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Maybe had the best rookie season of all time. And you have, and Terry McLaurin might get traded away because he hasn't signed a contract.
Is he someone that we could expect maybe not to be on the field against us that game?
Hopefully.
That'd be a massive advantage for the Lions. Like Musa said, flying into the nation's capital for this game, everybody remembers what happened last year. We win the number 1 seed. We get the bye. Washington comes to Detroit to play us.
The only problem, we didn't have a healthy defense.
Don't get me started. That was devastating to see.
All our secondary got hurt. Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, Amik Robertson had to start backups I didn't even know.
We lost 20 defensive players at one point. 20.
Brutal.
Jaden Daniels, Stephen A. Smith had him as the number 1 quarterback in the league. In fantasy football, many projected him to be a top 3 quarterback. I mean, just an outstanding rookie year. Did everything he said he was going to do by having... Everyone thought C.J. Stroud had an outstanding rookie year, which he did. But
then Jaden Daniels came out of nowhere and put up numbers.
Absolutely.
C.J. Stroud couldn't compete as a rookie.
Absolutely. So Jaden Daniels met and exceeded those expectations. Lions are going to come into this game with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. This is a big rematch for them. We all remember what happened last year in the playoffs, but unfortunately, I do feel Jaden Daniels and the boys are going to be too much for the Lions to overcome this time. I have the Lions going 5-4 at this point in the season.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree because their D-line lost a lot of key players. They lost Jonathan Allen to the Vikings. Lost Jeremy Chin to the Raiders. They lost a couple good players in that secondary. But I do think the Lions will get their revenge. I have the Lions coming into the big capital, winning this game.
The Commanders are favored at this moment in time. The Commanders are favored by 1.5 points in that game. So we will see. Very, very close.
Can I say this one?
Please.
Now we came off a tough game, but this one is even tougher. Traveling to Philly to take on the Eagles, NBC, Sunday night.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
At 8:20 p.m. Would you like to start?
I'll start. Reigning Super Bowl champs, Jalen Hurts.
Saquon Barkley,
A.J. Brown, Nick Sirianni. You have an outstanding defense. You have an outstanding offense, outstanding special teams. The Eagles are really a triple threat all around. No weaknesses.
No weaknesses.
Outstanding O-line, perhaps the best in the league. by many metrics. An incredible defensive line, an incredible secondary, just an extremely tough, physical team in Philadelphia. No surprise they won the Super Bowl. None at all. Sunday Night Football, 8:20. I'm going to say this is going to be a very challenging game for the Lions, especially after coming off a away game in the nation's capital. I'm going to take a loss here for the Lions. I'm going to say at this point in the season, the Lions will be 5-5.
The Eagles lost a lot of key players. Brandon Graham retired. Darius Slay went to the Steelers, who I predict comes back to the Lions. Lost Milton Williams. Lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the Texans. Huge hit. He was really good last year. Sad he couldn't do the same with the Lions. And you have Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Lane Johnson, Devonta Smith, Jahan Dotson. Really great players all around. But that doesn't mean the Lions will win this. I have the Eagles winning this.
It's going to be a tough game. But exciting next game here. We go Thanksgiving game. Exciting next game here. We have a Thanksgiving game in Detroit against the Giants, 1 o'clock. Moose, what do you know about the Giants?
Signed a lot. They drafted Jackson Dart, signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, which we don't know. Same with the Browns problem. We won't know who's going to start.
Definitely rooting for Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston fan right here.
Big time.
That's a
Jameis.
W.
That's a W.
Let's eat one tonight.
Let's eat a W.
Has an incredible D-line. Dexter Lawrence. Drafted Abdul Carter, which my personal favorite rookie in the draft. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Okereke. A lot of good outside linebackers. A lot of good edge rushers. Great defensive tackle. Secondary, mid O-line's horrible. Tyrone Tracy coming up rookie season where no one expects to see from him. But I do have the Lions winning this game.
Lions are favored by 8.5 points, Musa. That's a massive margin to be favored by. So I'm going to take the Lions as well here. At this point in the season, I have the Lions, I think 6-5.
6-5. You said 5-5 last time.
At this point of the season, I have the Lions 6-5.
I have the Lions going 9-2.
Believe so.
9-2.
The Lions play the Giants at home Sunday, 1 o'clock. The Lions are favored by 8.5 points, Moose.
That's a lot.
Massive margin. Tell us what you know about the Lions. Tell us what you know about the Giants.
Well, you have a quarterback room. Again, with the same with the Browns situation, we don't know who's going to start. Jackson Dart, first-round pick. Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson. It could go either way. Jameis Winston fan right here, by the way.
Massive Jameis Winston fan. Let's eat a W.
Let's eat a W. Let's eat a W tonight. Let's eat a W. Malik Neighbors had a spectacular season as a rookie.
Abdul Carter,
one of my favorite players in the draft. Dexter Lawrence, a great defensive tackle. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Bobby Okereke, great D-line, great D-line room. And you have a pretty decent secondary with the addition of Javon Holland from the Dolphins. Dolphins. Theo Johnson returns back from his injury. Tyrone Tracy, rookie we didn't expect to see. People didn't expect to see him put up numbers that in his rookie season. But there's no way the Giants would win against us. I have the Lions winning here at Ford Field.
Just like Musa said, I think the Lions will win here. 8.5 points to be favored by. Might not be enough points. I think the Lions might win this game by 10, 12, 14 points. I think the Lions can really, really shine here at home. And I think the Lions will win here. I have the Lions going 6-5 by week 12.
I have the Lions going 9-2.
Week 13, Thanksgiving game, 1 o'clock against the Packers, divisional game. We remember last year against the Bears at Thanksgiving. Caleb Williams didn't use that game. You were at that game. Tell us about the game, Moose.
It was incredible. I took my little cousin there. It was his first time coming. Really great game all around. Horrible clock management.
Tell us about it. You have one timeout left.
One timeout with 30 seconds remaining. It was like he was begging to lose.
You can't ask for it any more than that.
Really happy we got the win though, but could have won by so much more. I mean, it's the Bears. But this one is different. It's against the Packers.
Let's talk this year. Lions are 2.5 favorite to win this game. Jordan Love coming into Detroit.
Yeah, Jordan Love had a really great season when he was the starter when Aaron Rodgers left Green Bay. The addition of Josh Jacobs really helped last year. Matthew Golden, we could see him be potential wide receiver 3-2-1 from the draft. The D-line, Ryan Clark, Rashawn Gary, and you have the addition of Jair Alexander is huge.
Massive addition.
Signed Nate Hobbs instead. Xavier McKinney came off second in interceptions last year. And a pretty decent O-line. Tucker Kraft, a really good tight end. But I still think the Lions will pull this off.
I think the Lions will win on Thanksgiving. Everybody knows the struggle the Lions have had on Thanksgiving in the most recent years. We played the Bills. We played the Bears.
We played the Packers 2
years ago.
Unfortunately, we lost that game.
Unfortunately, we did lose, but I don't think that will happen this year. I think the Lions will win. I have the Lions going 7-5 by Week 13.
I have the Lions going 10-2.
Week 14, the Lions play the Cowboys at home in Detroit. Thursday Night Football, 8:15 game on Prime Video. Musa, this has been a crazy series against them.
Crazy.
Let's not forget 2 years ago what happened. Let's not forget last year what happened. Let's start it off 2 years ago. 2 years ago, the Lions are playing the Cowboys in Dallas.
We had it in our hands. Taylor Decker for the win, 2-point conversion to win the game. Taylor Decker goes out to
Brad Allen.
Brad Allen gives a thumbs up. He reported eligible and went to the line. Jared Goff hiked the ball, was wide open at the back of the end zone, caught it, 2-point conversion good. My whole family was screaming. And then Brad Allen had to ruin our day by throwing the flag.
Brad Allen had a little trick up his sleeve.
And that was what cost us the game. That was potential Super Bowl runner.
Yeah, let's talk about the ramifications of that game. Because of that game, the Lions get placed in the second. No, excuse me.
For the first
third. We were third ranked.
We were third.
Right.
Could have been.
So let's talk about the ramifications of that game. Because of that, the Lions got demoted to the third ranked team in the NFC. Cowboys got the second.
49ers got the first, and they were all 12-5.
All 12-5. But because of that game,
if the Lions won that game, we could have had the first seed.
And let's not forget the 49ers ended up losing Week 18 against the Rams. So the Lions would have had the first seed. And let's not forget what happened when we played the 49ers in the NFC Championship. Kindle Vildor off the face mask for a touchdown. But now let's go back to what happened last year. Last year, pivotal game in our season. Lions are up big. Lions are up big in Dallas. What happens? Aiden Hutchinson, leg wraps around the guy.
Out for the entire season. That is what killed us. Our Super Bowl run killed us.
Lions were trying trick plays we've never even seen before. So by this point,
trying to get Penei Sewell a touchdown.
We were doing everything. So for this game, I have the Lions winning this game against the Cowboys. The Lions will be 8-5 by Week 14.
The Cowboys have really great players. The addition of George Pickens. Michael, again with the Terry McLaurin, Michael Parsons might get traded.
Demanding a trade, will Jerry Jones renegotiate Micah Parsons' contract?
Would he renegotiate with him? Yes, but did he? No.
Micah Parsons is another player that could be one of the highest non-paid quarterbacks in the NFL.
Could happen. And the loss of Zach Martin retiring, and you have a pretty decent secondary. The loss of Jordan Lewis at safety, but they have pretty decent secondary around Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland, Malik Hooker, pretty good. But I still think the Lions will pull it off.
Remind us, what was the score last year?
47-9.
What was the score the year before that?
47-9.
47-9. What was the score before that?
2019.
wasn't there something special that happened last year? Wasn't it Jerry Jones' birthday?
It was Jerry Jones' birthday.
That was a birthday present for Jerry Jones. Like I said, Lions will be 8-5 by week 14.
11-2.
11-2. Next.
This one.
Please.
Next, we travel to LA, 4:25 p.m. Fox to take on the Rams.
Jared Goff, homecoming game.
Homecoming.
The California kid went to Cal, drafted by the Rams, number 1 overall, going back to California to play the Rams in SoFi Stadium.
And this is Matthew Stafford's game too. Drafted by the Lions, spectacular season, and then got traded to the Rams. So it's kind of both.
In a blockbuster trade.
So
let's talk about it. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua.
The addition of Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, pretty good O-line, Tyler Higbee, the pretty good D-line, and
Let's talk about the secondary for the Rams.
secondary is iffy. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just mid, very mid.
How so?
I have guys I don't even know. I know a couple, of course. Darius Williams, Akilla Willispoon, Cameron Curl, and you have Cameron Kitchens, like a 4th rounder from Miami, which turned out to be really huge. Quentin Lake at the other safety position. I don't think the Rams were listed as the 17th best offense and the 21st best defense, and still made the playoffs all the way to the divisional round.
Talk about a rebuild year for Sean McVay. Sean McVay knows how to win.
2 years in a row rebuild year.
Excellent. I actually have the Rams taking the L this game. Lions are favored by 1.5. I'm going to take the Lions by the 1.5. I'm going to say at this point in the season, the Lions will be 9-5.
I'm going to have to agree with you. I think the Lions will come to SoFi Stadium, beat Matthew Stafford for the 3rd time in a row?
Something like that. No. Yes.
Yes, in the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 times in a row.
Week 15, Lions come back home to play the Steelers Sunday, 4:25 on CBS. Lions are favored by 6 points. A whole touchdown they're favored to win by. That's a big margin.
Really big.
Tell us about the Steelers, Moose. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is getting older, and older does not mean he's getting better. The loss of Najee Harris, the loss of George Pickens. My prediction, the loss of Darius Slay. The loss of Minka Fitzpatrick.
So by this point of the season, let's not forget, Musa predicts that the Lions will have Big Play Slay back on our team. Mike Tomlin never had a losing season.
Had 3 coaches in the last 60 years. You know how impressive that is?
It's incredible.
And let's talk about their additions. DK Metcalf from the Seahawks. Jalen Ramsey from the Dolphins. Jonnu Smith from the Dolphins. I don't understand that one. I don't know why you need 2 good tight ends.
I don't know either.
Maybe have something special.
But let's talk about the loss of Najee Harris. He played a big role in that offense last year.
Drafted Caleb Johnson from Iowa, who had a really great season. The loss of Landon Roberts for middle linebacker to the Raiders.
Tell us about that secondary, Musa, and the defensive line. You got T.J. Watt on that team.
T.J. Watt.
Arguably the best defensive player in the AFC.
Cameron Hayward, Jalen Ramsey, Deshaun Elliott, a former Lion. Remember him?
Of course I remember him.
They have a really good secondary. They have a really good defense. One of the best secondary in the NFL. Well, the Ravens is the best. Okay, they got a lot of good players. But I still will think the Lions will win this game.
I would agree with you. By this point in the season, I have the Lions taking the win there, and they will be 10-5.
I have the Lions going 3-2, 13-2.
13-2,
yeah.
Okay. Week 17. Christmas Day.
On Netflix.
Lions are playing the Vikings away in Vikings Stadium.
The best stadium in the NFL.
Probably. Musa, tell us about the Vikings for the second time the Lions are playing them this season. We both predicted they would win the first game in this season at home. J.J. McCarthy, rookie quarterback. I'm hoping the new defensive coordinator can come up with some kind of scheme to rattle the young quarterback in his unofficial rookie year. We all know last year he didn't play. They had Sam Darnold. Unbelievable performance by Sam Darnold, except for Week 18, when the Lions were really able to confuse him, get him frustrated, and make some bad plays out of him. Not a single touchdown. So, Musa, tell us about the Vikings secondary. Tell us about the Vikings defense. What are you expecting out of Kevin O'Connell?
The addition of Jonathan Allen from the Commanders, really great defensive tackle. Like I said, their secondary did poorly last season. Allowed like top 10, top 7 in most yards per game. Didn't do anything, but they did have Byron Murphy in top 5 for interceptions leader. But Justin Jefferson, really great player.
Absolutely. T.J. Hawkinson, former Lion, drafted by the Lions.
Jordan Addison, a former first-round pick. Aaron Jones. And J.J. McCarthy, like I said, it could be really good, could be really bad, could be comeback player of the year. And this is coming from a Michigan fan, by the way.
Let's not forget his college resume. Didn't throw the ball much, but he did have a national championship. And
it was 24-1 as a starter.
Unbelievable college resume. So I'm going to say the Lions are going to play the Vikings, beat them earlier in the season. Unfortunately, I have the Lions losing this game. The Lions will not win 6 in a row, in my opinion, against the Vikings. The Lions will be 10-6.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think the Lions will find a way to pull this off. Even with the loss of Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, I still think they'll find a way.
Lions are favored 2.5 points, by the way, for that game. Last week, Week 18 of the regular season, the Lions are playing the Bears in Soldier Field in Chicago. At this point, it's going to be January 4th. It's going to be cold. It's going to be snowing.
Could be rainy.
Could be raining.
Really windy, like last year.
Extremely wet. Like we talked about earlier in the season, very fortunate that we were able to play in Lambeau Field early in the season. Unfortunately, we didn't get lucky with playing the Bears early in the season as well. So here's what we have to think. Here's what we have to know. Before this game, we're going to be hearing a lot of noise. Jared Goff's an indoor quarterback. Jared Goff this, Jared Goff that. We all know what the Lions do. They don't listen to the noise, but the fans and the media are going to be saying this. Well, so what's your opinions going into this game? Will Ben Johnson have some kind of scheme Will Ben Johnson have some kind of scheme to get Jared Goff frustrated and moving all over the place? Can Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams have some kind of chemistry at this point of the season?
Absolutely. Ben Johnson is an incredible coordinator. Was an incredible coordinator with us. I think he will find a way for Caleb Williams to beat our defense. But I still think Aiden Hutchinson is going to still get to him any way possible. The addition of Joe Thuney, one of the best guards in the NFL. Jonah Jackson, former Lion from the Rams, didn't play as much. Lost the addition of Keenan Allen, but they did drafted Luther Burden in the draft. Like you said, cold weather, rainy, snowy, windy, doesn't matter. It was really windy last season, but I still think the Lions were going to pull it off.
I think the Lions will pull it off too. Let's not forget these cold weather games become a run game. You have guys on our team, some excellent running backs.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Demo.
Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery.
Sonic and Knuckles,
the 1-2. Jared Goff can throw the football pretty well in the cold weather. Look at his resume. He's done it before. But I think this is going to be probably one of our tougher games. I think this might be our toughest win of the season. Like I said, I think the Lions will win, favored by 1.5. Week 18, I predict the Lions will finish the season 11-6. Musa?
I predict the Lions, yes, will go back to 15-2.
15-2, just as good as they did last year with a harder schedule.
Yes.
And the removal of our two...
But this is, well, it could go anyway. But with a healthy roster, I think they could pull it off again.
Absolutely. Last year was potentially one of the greatest rosters to ever be assembled. And unfortunately, they didn't even win a single playoff game.
Unfortunately.
But you have them going 15-2.
Well, I think they will find a way to pull it off again. Dan Campbell is an incredible coach.
Agreed.
Should have been top. Should have been. Coulda, woulda, coulda won Coach of the Year.
100%. Let's talk about some other stuff before we call it a video. 2 new coordinators, some new draft picks. What are you looking forward to this season?
I'm looking forward. My sleeper draft pick for us, Isaac Tesla. I think he is going to have a really good season. And he's like 6'5", so I can just throw it up to him every single time.
Who's your NFL player comparison to Isaac Tesla?
Height size like Calvin. Maybe catching traffic. Maybe Randy Moss, Calvin. I could see it. I think he will maybe be wide receiver 3 at like week 15.
These are Hall of Fame players, Musa.
I know.
So you have Isaac Tesla as potentially...
Or maybe, never mind.
So you have Isaac Tesla as an incredible receiver in the near future for us.
I think he will be a really good sleeper steal in that draft, yeah.
Potentially to steal the draft?
Potential steal of the draft.
Tell us about our 2 new coordinators.
John Morton from the Broncos. I think he will. Not Ben Johnson. He's no Ben Johnson. No one could be Ben Johnson. He was a really great coordinator.
Very creative with his play calls.
Really creative. But I think he'll cook something up for us. And Kelvin Shepherd, former linebacker coach, I think he's no Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn was great, but I think he also will probably cook something up for us.
Very exciting. We saw what he did last year with the linebackers, with the loss of Anzalone for a little bit, Rodriguez.
Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell was great last year.
So a lot of promising games and a lot of exciting opportunities for the Lions to see this season. Final thoughts?
Just looking forward to the season. Hopefully we could go all the way. Hopefully. That's what the NFL script says. Hopefully. Thank you so much for watching. Please watch our next video. This is your Detroit Now.